The old tree in the heart of the quiet village of Eldenwood, there stood an ancient oak tree known to all as the Old Tree. Its gnarled branches stretched wide and high, casting a comforting shade over the village square. The tree was older than anyone could remember, and its roots ran deep, entwining with the history and memories of Eldenwood itself. The old tree had always been a place of gathering for the villagers. It was where children played, lovers carved their initials, and elders shared stories of days gone by. Its presence was a constant, a silent witness to the passage of time and the lives that unfolded around it. Among those who cherished the old tree was Lena, a young woman with a profound love for nature and a deep respect for her village's traditions. She had grown up listening to her grandmother's stories about the tree's significance and the wisdom it held. Her grandmother often spoke of a time when the tree had been a sapling, nurtured by the hands of their ancestors. One crisp autumn day, as the leaves turned golden and the air grew cool, Lena visited the old tree. She carried with her a small notebook, a habit she had developed to record her thoughts and the stories she had heard. Sitting under the tree's broad canopy, she felt a sense of peace and connection to the past. As she wrote, a soft breeze rustled the leaves, and Lena imagined she could hear the whispers of the tree. Her grandmother had always said that if you listened closely, the old tree would share its secrets. Lena closed her eyes, letting the sounds of nature fill her senses, and she felt a strange, calming presence. "Ah, Lena," a gentle voice said, startling her. She opened her eyes to see old Thomas, the village storyteller, standing nearby. His eyes twinkled with the wisdom of many years, and his smile was warm and inviting. "Hello, Thomas," Lena replied, smiling back. "I was just thinking about the stories my grandmother used to tell me about this tree." Thomas nodded, his gaze turning to the old tree. "Your grandmother was a wise woman. She understood the importance of this tree, not just as a part of our village, but as a keeper of our history." Lena's curiosity was piqued. "Do you know any stories that I might not have heard?" Thomas chuckled softly. "Oh, I know many. But there is one in particular that I think you will find interesting. It is said that the old tree has a guardian spirit, an ancient being that has watched over our village for centuries." Lena's eyes widened with interest. "A guardian spirit?" "Yes," Thomas continued, his voice taking on a storytelling cadence. "Long ago, when our village was young and the tree was just a sapling, there was a great drought. The land was parched, and the villagers feared for their crops and their lives. In their desperation, they prayed to the spirits of the earth for help. One night, as the villagers gathered around the tree, a figure appeared. She was tall and ethereal, with hair like flowing leaves and eyes that shimmered like the stars. She spoke to the villagers, promising to protect the tree and their land if they vowed to honor and care for the natural world. The villagers agreed, and the spirit blessed the tree with her presence. From that day on, the old tree flourished, and the village prospered. The spirit's presence could be felt in the rustling of the leaves and the strength of the tree's roots. Lena listened, captivated by the tale. "Do you believe the spirit is still here, watching over us?" Thomas smiled thoughtfully. "I do. The spirit's bond with the tree and our village is strong. As long as we respect the land and honor the old tree, the spirit will remain." Inspired by Thomas's story, Lena felt a renewed sense of purpose. She decided to dedicate herself to the care and preservation of the old tree and the natural beauty of Eldenwood. She organized cleanup days, planting events, and educational programs to teach the younger generation about the importance of nature. The villagers responded with enthusiasm, and soon the old tree became the center of a community-wide effort to protect the environment. Under Lena's guidance, the village square flourished with new plantings, and the old tree stood as a symbol of their collective commitment. One evening, as Lena sat beneath the tree, she felt a gentle breeze and heard the familiar rustling of leaves. She closed her eyes, feeling the presence of the guardian spirit. It was as if the tree was expressing its gratitude for her efforts. In that moment, Lena understood that the old tree was more than just a part of their village. It was a living connection to their past and a guide for their future. It held within its ancient bark the stories, wisdom, and spirit of Eldenwood. As the years passed, Lena's dedication to the old tree and her village never wavered. The tree remained a steadfast symbol of unity and reverence for nature, its branches continuing to shelter and inspire generations to come. And so, the legend of the old tree lived on, a testament to the enduring bond between humanity and the natural world. Through Lena's efforts and the spirit's guidance, the village of Eldenwood flourished, rooted in the wisdom of the past and the promise of the future.